What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I just want to quickly start with saying I apologise if I sound a bit funny. I am currently unwell, but I'm still trying to make some videos for you guys. But we are here with a full career on UFC Undisputed 2009. I'm going to be going between the Undisputed games as well as the Fight Night games, mainly round 3, round 4 and Fight Night champion. But meet Gordon Stan, the 5'10" welterweight, fighting out of Dallas, Texas. A solid kickboxer and judo fighter. One thing that's really great about this game is you actually get to pick a stand-up style and then you get to pick a ground style. So you get the choice of boxer, kickboxer and Muay Thai, but then you also get the choice of judo, wrestling and jiu-jitsu, which is really a good way to do it, in my opinion. It works well. And of course makes sense because in a lot of modern UFC games, it tends to be like you just pick a kickboxer and that's it. You're the kickboxer. Jobs are good. But this, you know, you are a martial artist. That's kind of the way they went for right away. You see there we get to pick the striking and then the grappling. I do go through it a few times because I'm changing my mind back and forth. But I end up going with kickboxer and judo. And then, yeah, my focus for a little while was cardio because you can become quite exhausted in this game quite quickly. But as always, guys, you know, with these careers, I like to have a lot of fun. I like to show you guys the highlights of some fights. It doesn't always mean we're going to become world champion. You know, Gordon Stan was destined to be a great legend, but sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes they go undefeated in these careers. You guys know, you've seen the rest of them. If you haven't, I have done one on UFC 1, 2, 3, and UFC 4. So if you haven't watched those videos, make sure you guys go and check them out. They're actually pretty good. And to be honest, I quite enjoy doing these videos. I recorded it all yesterday and I've been feeling rough as fuck lately, but I wanted to get this commentary done so I can just chill today because I am feeling pretty rough, which has not been great. But yeah, so that's pretty much it with the customization. The customization is pretty basic in this game, sorry. But you know, Gordon Stan is ready for his career. He's ready to be a UFC legend. So without further ado, let's get into it.
So, you think you're ready for the UFC, huh? Listen, the UFC is more than a few tough guys coming in off the streets who think they can fight. These are athletes competing at the highest level of their sport. Just look around you. It's the fastest growing sport in the world. You don't get a shot in the UFC by coming in off the street with a karate trophy. You need to be ready for anything and everything. You go in there with just wrestling, you come out with just a concussion. If your only game plan is your big right hand, I'll play you a video of where that went wrong after you wake up. I need you in shape, sharp on the ground, and deadly on your feet. When you're not fighting, you're training. If you're not willing to put everything on the line, I'll find someone who is. You better decide now, because after you walk down to that octagon, after that cage door closes, I don't want to find out that you're not a real fighter. And trust me, kid, neither do you. When it comes to talent, this organization has the best in the world, period. And every single one of them is ready for you. Win or lose, I want you to prove to me, to everyone, hell, to yourself, that you're a fighter. This is the Ultimate Fighting Championship, and we are as real as it gets. So now it comes down to a single question, and you have to ask yourself.
Here you go, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready?
White talked his bollocks. We have a fight in the UFC gym. Just the first fight. You know, I was just finding my foot, and Gordon Stan just finding his foot in his kicking range. You know, very slow to start with, but, you know, that's something we can work on at some point, you know, taking those big shots, landing some big shots as well there, coming to the end of the first round. Going to try and get him out of here nice and early, but he actually recovers. So fair play to him for recovering there, but we rock him again at the end of the first round. But again, he is saved by the belt, so quite a lucky fight. Takes us to the second round, but we know, you know, you hurt someone twice and jobs are good. And we knew we could get him out of there, but great job, and all in all, that's what earned us our UFC contract. Interesting to earn the contract that way, just that easily, to be honest. But can't really complain. We get to go through the contracts. You get a choice of a few, and I just want to show you guys the sparring because you actually get to do some sparring in this. UFC Undisputed 2010 is where the training games and the career really peaked. UFC Undisputed 3's career is great. But UFC 2010 really had all the pads and the mitts and the shin pads and the head guards. It was really cool. But yeah, UFC Undisputed 2009 was pretty solid. But here we are. First fight in the UFC. Pretty lazy way to earn the contract. I did actually go into this fight with 64% stamina. I overtrained by accident. I forgot how the training worked in this game, but it is what it is. So I was just fighting off the back foot, trying to land a few shots here and there, just working those body kicks. That's what Gordon Stan likes to do. He likes to work those body kicks and then work those head kicks up top. But again, just you can tell Gordon Stan is getting tired at the end of this first round. But we're halfway through the second round at this point, and I was just trying to throw the jabs and fight off the back foot. He was landing a lot of body shots, which was exhausting me even more, and I was really having some issues. But caught with a lovely lead hook there, stand over him and rain down the punches, getting a lovely second round TKO for our first UFC fight. But now I want to make sure that we always go in with 100% stamina. So this was actually a fight of undefeated. I was 2-0, he was 3-0. So pretty good fight. This is definitely one where I realised that I had weakness off my back. I couldn't really get him off me. He was able to land shots as and when he pleased. It was a bit of a pain. I was getting really tired. Just cardio's got to be worked on. That ground grappling defense has got to be worked on. But I knew if I could get him on his back, or I could stay on the feet, then I knew that that was my world. But at the minute, my weakness is definitely being on my back. So of course, that's something I have to be careful with. And a perfect head kick KO, and it takes us to our next fight. I did actually get offered some stuff between these fights. I got offered some new training in a internet interview, which was just a magazine cover, but I don't want to show you guys that. That's kind of boring shit. I feel like that's just filler content they really didn't need to use. But just this is a tough fight. We had a good first round, and we pushed it into the second round. Again, you can see him just landing those body kicks. And real good stuff, to be honest. Can't complain at all. Just even though I'm fighting off my back, I'm just landing those good combinations, trying to work those body kicks in, work those teeps in when if and when I can, and yeah, just making the most of it. Going into the third round, both pretty exhausted, as you can tell. Both of us are absolutely knackered, but we carry on fighting through. We carry on trying our best. And I'm starting to land that uppercut because he's leaving that guard wide open. You can see me trying to throw that uppercut. And as he goes for the body shot, the perfect uppercut lands. And as we enter our fifth UFC fight, we've definitely increased the cardio, increased the speed. I'm definitely feeling more confident in myself as a fighter, landing a lot more. I mean, the body kick combinations can really string together nicely, as you can see there. Look at that. It's a 5 or 6 punch combination, followed up by the head kick, and then followed back with another 3 punch combination. We're really starting to find our stride there. And already, we're starting to fight this top 20, top 15 already at only 4-0. So Gordon Stan's really finding his footing in this UFC welterweight division. He is, he is going to be that future UFC champion. There is no doubt about it. Just lovely work all the time, working the body shots, working up top. He's got a solid ground game, solid ground and pound. His cardio's definitely picked up in these last few fights. You can see the end of the second round, and he's still pushing the pace. 2 fights ago, he would not have been able to do that. So it's definitely a big improvement, as well as on the speed. We're into the third round now, and still able to throw at such a high pace. Just tons of punches, tons of body kicks. Haven't really had to use the ground game too much in this fight. Didn't really feel like I needed to. The first 2 rounds were pretty competitive, but I knew I was up, and I rock him with a nasty body shot there, and end up towering over him, raining down the shots, but he does recover, only for him to get back up, me land another body kick, and then rock his head when he's on the ground, and rain down the shots for the referee to end the fight and say he has seen enough. This motherfucker didn't want to touch gloves. Can you believe that? He didn't want to touch gloves. So I knew, alright, we're going to make him feel the pain. So I took him down, and this fight is a ground and pound fight. This is him fighting off his back. He was a kickboxer. He didn't know what to do here. We just rain down the ground and pound for the entirety of round 1. We're still going. He did get up. He did try to deny some transitions. He did try to transition his way into full guard. But I just made sure every time to transition back into that half guard, mount him, and just rain down the shots like an absolute monster. And some fighters are smart enough to grab your hand and grab your head and pull you in. This guy he couldn't do it. It was almost too easy to batter this guy like this. It was light work. Then we get a big fight against Matt Serra. This was a big fight, man. He was tough. We We struggled a lot in this fight. You know, Gordon was being taken down a lot by Matt Serra, being put in the clinch a lot, being pulled into guard a lot. It was definitely difficult. I definitely struggled in this fight. Like I said, he was pulling guard a lot. He was just able to take me down, make me uncomfortable. I wouldn't say that I was ever in bad situations, but it was takedowns like this. I can't do much about that against someone as powerful as Matt Serra. He really made things uncomfortable for me. Luckily, he was pulling me into his guard a lot because that's all he could do. And he was trying to reverse from, I believe this is the butterfly guard or rubber guard, sorry, into his own top mount. But I was able to reverse it a lot. But he was saved by the bell at the end of the second round there. Really saved by the bell. We go into the third round. And I know that I can land head kicks at range and probably knock him out at this point. That's the game plan, is just keep at range and perfect. Lovely little twizzle like a Disney princess, and down goes Serra. And then we get another tough fight here. Another tough one against the man Matt Hughes. You can see what's going on here. This is just me just struggling. The first round, I don't know what's going on. I'm not comfortable here. He's bullying me on the ground. And this is kind of where we were going to see the weaknesses in Gordon Ryan. Again, second round takes me down. I hadn't really been able to land too much. He just kept taking me down. Kept wrestle fucking me, taking me down. I had like alright get-ups to the point where I was able to survive. But he was just able just to do what he wanted. And this was a tough fight. This was where Gordon Ryan might have been exposed. But he was able to hold his own in terms of... in terms of getting up and ground transitions. But I'm able to hurt Matt Hughes here on the feet. And I know this is my opportunity to rain down these shots here. But unfortunately, he's able to push me up. But I know that I'm not going to let him up. I'm just going to rain down some more fat shots. Big right hook there when he's down. Tower back over him with 20 seconds left on the clock. And pull off the most unbelievable clutch victory. I don't know how Gordon pulled that off, but he did. They then offer me a short notice fight against Matt Hughes in a rematch on 1 week's notice. I said absolutely fuck no to that. I thought it was my opponent that pulled out, but it wasn't. It was Matt Hughes' opponent that pulled out. I was offered 11-0 Ben Saunders. I'm 8-0. He's 11-0. This is a big fight for us. So I said, absolutely not. This guy's a number 3 ranked. I don't need to fight a guy I've just fought. He was a real pain. Ben Saunders was a real pain in this fight, man. He landed a lot of leg kicks, a lot of body kicks. I mean, you saw that I didn't touch gloves there. I just didn't want to. I didn't actually have the choice, to be honest. You don't actually have the choice. They just do it for you. But as you can see, the first round's very back and forth. We're both landing good kicks. I try to shoot for the takedown, but he does stuff it. One of the first people to actually stuff a takedown from me. We're going to the second round. But you can see I'm utilising the body kicks and then throwing the head kicks. And it's a treat, man. The head kicks are becoming nasty. At 9-0, we are working our way up to the top. Just beat the number 3 ranked. I'm feeling good. At 9-0, we get offered a big fight against the champ, George Rush St. Pierre. Now, this is going to be a tough fight. This is a fight I'd be worried about. This is a fight I am worried about. But we take it, we train hard, and we both show great respect to one another. GSP's a respectful guy, and this is one hell of a fight. This is extremely competitive. We know where GSP can thrive. We know where I can thrive. We know that my stand-up is my better game. My top game is pretty good, but GSP, his speed is no joke on the feet. You can see the difference in speed between the two of us. I know that I can shut off a lot of his starting combinations with a body kick, but it's just being able to throw them, not having him land first. I have him on the ground here, but unfortunately we get stood up. I was just trying to land some shots, but they actually stand us up, which was a bit of a pain. He did pull me in the guard a few times, but nothing that would make me worry. It was very back and forth this first round. Probably give that round to me. The second round was much more my way. As you'll see, I definitely take control in this fight. Nasty head kicks being landed. Again, another nasty head kick from range. Just working GSP like an absolute villain. Nasty head kicks, back and forth, back and forth. A nice drop there. Really setting the tone for the rest of the fight at this point. Having a competitive first round to then dropping GSP, the champ, in the second round. That's where I really start to take control here. This is where I'm feeling confident. We're into the third round now. He's starting to wrestle me a bit more, but I'm feeling pretty good that I can try and get up. And that's what I'm able to do. I'm able to get back up. But he does take me down a few times in this third round. As you can see, I'm back down. Goes for the knee lock or the leg lock here. And, I mean, GSP's submissions are freaky. But we've been able to get out of a few. So it wasn't impossible for Gordon to get out of this. He's definitely got out of a few before. But unfortunately, he doesn't get out. And that is when tragedy strikes. Injury struck. Once that adrenaline left Gordon's system and the calm hit, we realised there was a serious injury. No fault to GSP, but Gordon completely has his knee shattered. ACL is obliterated, causing Gordon to be out for 18 to 24 months, which was just absolute devastation. The longest he'd been inactive in his entire professional career from a brutal injury in a fight that he was winning. But his first fight back, he gets offered another GSP rematch. You can see in the first round, he goes for the same leg lock, but Gordon has learnt his lesson here. But it's not a great first round, being taken down a lot, leg kicked a lot, body kicked a lot, missing the patented head kick. He was just looking like a shell of himself, man. Gordon clearly ring rust set in. He's struggling to fight off his back, letting GSP take the top mount. He is looking like an absolute shell of himself. The first round wasn't even worth being there. He's just been bullied on the ground, being rocked, being hurt on the ground. He looks like a shell of himself, man. Coming back after 2 years off to fight the still reigning champion GSP. And the ref calls it off there. But we get back to the winning ways against Thiago Alves, a top 5 ranked welterweight. We knew it was time. 2 losses in a row after coming off that devastating injury against GSP and then another tough TKO loss. Maybe it was too soon for him to fight GSP again. Who knows? But we're wanting to come back to the winning ways. Thiago Alves seemed like a good way to do that. But that patented head kick is just missing day in and day out. He's seriously struggling to make that kick meet. And it's just looking tough. He's missing it too much. He's throwing it. He's almost trying to rely on it. And gets rocked with a nasty head kick of his own. Trying to just defend himself on the feet. Caught with a big elbow. And rained over with shots. And the ref has no choice but to end the fight again. Putting the losing streak to 3. But a rematch of Matt Serra is going to put Gordon Ryan back to the winning ways. A man he's already beaten once. He can do it again. He reverses it into the top mount. And again, since that injury, he's not looked the same. But this is time to pull it back. This is time to pull back the victory. I've beat this man before. I can beat him again. But rocked on the ground. And hammer punches are being rained down here. But I can recover. But he can't. Gordon Ryan out cold for the first time in his career. And that was it, guys. It was time for Gordon Ryan to call it a day. A once 9-0 fastest rise to a UFC title shot the world had ever seen. After a devastating injury, he knew that he was just a shell of himself after that. 2 losses to GSP, TKO loss to Thiago Alves, a KO loss to Matt Serra, a man that was well past his prime that he should have beaten again for a second time. He was at the top level, maybe too quick. He was at the top level for his short career. He'll never be considered one of the best, maybe one of the greatest what-ifs in UFC history. But after that career-halting injury, he was just never the same. Tough to see it go that way, never becoming a UFC champion, but that happens to people. He was destined for greatness, but sadly, a brutal injury ruined him, and he never looked the same again.